Focus.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another review with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be taking a look at Focus, sent to us kindly by the nutrition store, and it promises clarity, alertness and elevation, so you might be flying on this one. So stay with us as we cover the taste, the price, the label and the effects. Is it worthy of your money? And if you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button, tick the bell icon, give the video a like and drop us down below your thoughts on this product and anything else you want to see us review. Alright, let's talk taste and mixability then. So we have got Blissful Blueberry Mead flavour. If you can see that, it's in very, very small text. Sounds very interesting, doesn't it? All I can say is there are some bits in there that are quite hard to flavour, and the powder does have a bit of an earthy look. So with that being said, let's see. So yeah, like I said, bit of an earthy look to it. It won't win any aesthetic competitions. Some bits sat at the bottom. It is only a small 5-gram scoop, so a flat scoop does get you that, so obviously you won't need much water with that. But yeah, let's see how it tastes. Obviously I've used it a couple of times before in the past, but for the sake of today's review, let's see. Weird. It's not bad, it's just a bit weird. Don't know the best way to describe it. It's definitely got a blueberry vibe, but like a bitter, earthy sort of aftertaste to it as well. Yeah, like a sharp bitterness. But it's not that bad either, really. I'm gonna give it, out of 10, one more sip. A 6.5 out of 10. It's not bad. It's above average, just a bit weird, and there is some funkiness on the back end, but you won't struggle with it. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10. Okay, let's talk price. So strangely, we've got a 20 serving tub, but on the website it says 30 servings. So we'll go with 30 servings since that's what the price is going to be correlating to. So you'll head over to norsefitness.co where you'll find the 30 serving tub of Focus on there for $44 exactly, which is going to translate to $1.47 per the serving. And when you translate that into pounds and put it on our consistent pricing scale, it comes in at a 6.5 out of 10. So 5 out of 10 is priced bang averagely. So it is priced better than your average pre-workout. So how is that going to translate into label and how is that going to translate into real world effects? Let's find out. Okay, let's get into this label then. So it's firstly worth noting that this isn't necessarily a pre-workout, it's a Focus supplement that can be used as a pre-workout. However, it would be lacking in the pump power and endurance element side of things. But you could stack it with a pump formula to tick those boxes, so just something that's worth noting. 5-gram serving size, so let's get straight into the meat and potatoes of this. L-tyrosine, a gram. Amino acid is responsible for focus, concentration, nice dose. We move down to alpha GPC, 600 milligrams. Nice dose again. That's a choline type. It's going to help again, similar to L-tyrosine, with the focus, the concentration, staying on the ball. Then we move down to rhodiola rosea, 250 milligrams, as Rodeo Care, a trademark version. Not seen that before actually. That's going to help a bit with focus, mood elevation, antidepressive effects, anti-anxiety. It's a feel-good type ingredient. Same can be said actually for Velvet Bean, which is Mucana pruriens at 250 milligrams again. So yeah, very similar in that sense. Anti-stress, anti-anxiety, feel-good vibes. Then down to caffeine anhydrous, 135 milligrams. That's like a cup of coffee and a third. Like if that's a bit of a weird way of putting it. But like a cup of coffee is generally around 100 milligrams, so use that as your sort of measuring point. So kind of between a coffee and a typical energy drink is the best way of looking at it. But a nice amount. It's not going to blow your head off, but you'll definitely feel it still. And then we've got ashwagandha at 120 milligrams. Now we normally like to see anything from 500 to 600 milligrams plus as a daily supplement to get the benefits of the anti-anxiety, anti-stress, the lowering of the cortisol, the boosting of the feel-good feelings, and potentially testosterone. That's normally what it's used for. So yeah, it's a bit of a lower dose, but we'll have to just give it the benefit of the doubt and see how it ties together in actual real-world effects, because I don't think they're necessarily using it as a all-encompassing supplement. It's more of they're using it more for the acute effects that it gives you in the anti-stress department, I'd imagine. And then we move down to caffeine SR, the slow-release version, or the sustained release, should I say, 65%, delivering 65 milligrams of caffeine. So that then bumps the total up to 200 milligrams, which is a nice amount. You know, it's not going to kill you, but it's definitely sufficient. So you'll get that initial hit of the caffeine anhydrous, then the sustained release will sort of come across it to give a long-lasting, nice amount of caffeine energy feels. Then we have L-theanine, 100 milligrams. Again, that's going to help to provide that sort of smooth energy, that anti-jitter, tunnel it into a nice, calm, focused type feeling. You know, it's a bit of a controversial amino acid. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's normally seen in sleep aids, but we don't mind it if it's a decent sort of ratio against the stims and if it's used in the right context, which here it's a focus supplement, so yeah, we do not mind it. But more on that in the effects section. Then down to two ingredients that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be in a focus type supplement, and they are down the fat burning route. So they're going to help metabolize fat cells as energy. It's going to give you a bit of a revved up energy-like feel, and that is synephrine and hordenine hydrochloride, 60-50 milligrams respectively. So they're both stimulants. Like I said, they're fat burners. They're going to add to that caffeine to give you a bit of oomph. Bit of an interesting choice to put it in a focus supplement, but I think it will just give it a nice little kick to get you moving. But yeah, interesting label, pretty decent for the most part. How's it going to come together in the real world? Okay, let's talk real world effects with focus. In the several times I've used it in a few different scenarios. So it promises clarity and mental focus, alertness and clean energy, elevation, better mood and vibes. So does it tick those boxes? Well, let's start from the start. In the most recent time I used it for the gym. And because this isn't packing any pump element, because it's not necessarily a pre-workout, it's just a focus supplement, I stacked it with some pump capsules. So just full disclosure there. But yeah, that's besides the point. So I did legs today on it, and it took about 20 minutes to kick in. And then I felt the caffeine hit, I felt the fat burners hit, I got a sense of my heart rate going up, and a sort of like a revved up sense of urgency type feeling, which is nice, because I didn't really expect it with it being a focus type supplement, and it does say here, clean energy. So I would argue that you do get a bit of like dirty energy initially from those fat burners and from the caffeine hitting. You get a bit of a like, oh, something's kicking in. But then that does smooth out after about 20 minutes of that initial kick. And then it comes into a very nice long lasting energy, which I'd say lasts for 3 or 4 hours maximum. So it doesn't interfere with your day too much. Obviously it won't hold up for an entire day if you've got like an 8-hour work shift and you want to stay mega dialed in all day. It's not that potent, but it definitely does last noticeably for sort of 3 to 4 hours. So it's enough for a gym session or a quick study session or whatever the case may be. And what I'd argue is there's no real negatives to it. You know, it doesn't feel nasty, it doesn't feel unhealthy. There is a bit of mild appetite suppression there, because with most focus supplements, when you're so dialed in, you're so focused on doing what you're doing, you're not really thinking about food, you're not really hungry. So it just comes with a territory in that sense. Now what I'd also say is for the real world effects, the price point is very good. Don't get me wrong, there's other focus supplements that we've reviewed recently actually. The Huge Supplements Focus, it's actually called Focus as well, but with a C, and the Apollo Nutrition Overtime, they're very stacked and premium focus type supplements and a lot more expensive than this one. So those ones do last, you know, 6, 7, 8 hours plus. Very noticeable, very potent. They're obviously not going to be for everyone because it will simply be out of their price bracket. So what I would argue is that if you are on a bit more of a budget and you want a focus type supplement as well, this one might tick the box for you. Like it is very good. I'd even go as far as to say it performs a bit better than the label might even suggest. So It holds up for most gym sessions. It does struggle a bit on your more heavy duty ones, like a long ass leg or back day. But yeah, for your arm days, your chest days, shoulder days, absolutely fine. But again, it's not necessarily trying to get you geared up for the gym. It's just for any scenario where you might want to be dialed in or focused, or a bit of a pick-me-up. Sort of like an energy drink really, but a more targeted version of that. So yeah, like I said, the most recent time, used it for legs. It was pretty decent, you know, like I said, it does struggle a bit more on those days, but it held me for the most part. I was able to train, you know, it was absolutely fine. It has kind of a daily driver type energy feeling to it, apart from that initial slap from the fat burner type ingredients, but then, like I said, after that, when that sort of calms down, it does produce a very nice, smooth, long-lasting energy type feeling. And yeah, you do feel happy on it, you feel dialed in on it, definitely. Don't get me wrong, it's not a super tunneled in focus like a Ria Durensis DMHA, you know, nothing illicit. It's just a nice, happy, you know, just cracking on type feeling with no negatives. So it does do what it says that it's going to do on the front of the tub there. So yeah, I mean, there's not as much to talk about with this one because there is no pump, endurance, power type aspect to it. So I think beginners would be fine with it. You know, it is a lowish amount of caffeine. I think anyone who wants a focus type supplements, who's on a budget like I mentioned, would be into this. So yeah, for a focus supplement, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It is good. Like I said, it performs even a little bit better than the label might suggest. Bearing in mind when we're looking at some of these other ones, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, the Apollon one, the Huge Supplements one, they're 10 out of 10 premium products, but then again, like I mentioned, a lot more expensive, a lot bigger label, just a lot more impactful of a supplement, whereas this one's a bit more wallet friendly. So yeah, it gets the job done. It's not the best one we've ever seen, but it's definitely not the worst. So I do say, do check it out when it's back in stock. And do check out some of the other supplements by the guys over at Norse Fitness and the nutrition store whilst you're at it as well, because we really like their stuff. So yeah, let us know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this product? What do you think of nootropics in general? Is it something you'd pick up? As always, stay stimmed and focused.